On today's True Crime Time, we have someone who I do have several other videos about, Gary Ridgway. And as you may know by now, these take me a very long time, so if you can like, comment, share, copy link, let me know if this is on your For You page, anything to help me get views. I appreciate you to the fullest extent of the law. I appreciate you to the fullest extent of the law merch with our new logo coming soon. Okay, so Gary Leon Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer, was born on February 18th, 1949, and he is an American serial killer. He was initially convicted of 48 separate murders, and as part of his plea bargain, another conviction was added, bringing the total number of convictions to 49, making him the second most prolific serial killer in the United States history, according to confirmed murders. He killed many teenage girls and women in the state of Washington during the 1980s and 1990s. Most of his victims were alleged to be sex workers and other women in vulnerable circumstances, including underage runaways. He killed women of varying ages, different races, and that had all different types of looks, hair colors, etc. This is really uncommon for a serial killer typically, but what they all had in common was that they were in vulnerable circumstances and many of them were sex workers. He was given the Green River Killer nickname after the first 5 victims were found in the Green River before his identity was known. He strangled his victims, usually by hand, but sometimes using ligatures, and after strangling them, he would dump their bodies in forested and overgrown areas in King County, often returning to the bodies to have sexual intercourse with them. On November 30th, 2001, he was leaving the Kenworth truck factory where he worked in Renton, Washington, and was arrested for the murders of 4 women whose cases were linked to him through DNA profiling evidence. As part of a plea bargain where he agreed to disclose the locations of still missing women, he was spared the death penalty and received a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, and he's still alive in prison today. Gary Leon Ridgway was born on February 18th, 1949 in Salt Lake City, Utah, and was the second of Mary and Thomas Ridgway's 3 sons. His home life was somewhat troubled. Relatives have described his mother as domineering and have said that while young, he witnessed more than one violent argument between his parents. His father was a bus driver who would often complain about the presence of sex workers, which likely played into Gary's hate of them later on in life. He also had a bedwetting problem until he was 13, and his mother would wash his genitals after every episode, and he would later tell defense psychologists that as an adolescent, he had conflicting feelings of anger and sexual attraction towards his mother because of this. Bedwetting is also one part of the McDonald triad. His first assault on another person was when he was 16 and stabbed a 6-year-old boy who then survived the attack. Like I said, he is still alive and in prison today and is only currently 72 years old.